Good morning, gifted crafters. It's crafting time.
Me and my friends are having a great time. It's not face to face, it's all online. We're all in our homes, miles away. Love them like my family, what can I say? My crafting show is on, it's my time for me. Laughter, tips and tricks, this is what I need. We're here to have fun, we're all in the zone. When crafting with friends, you're never alone. Don't call or text me, it's about to begin. I've been patient.
Live from the Sunshine State in Miami, Florida, here is the Gifted Crafters Morning Show with Nancy.
Let's have a good time. Ooh, time to get our craft on. Ooh, time to have fun. Ooh, time to feel good.
Good morning, Gifted Crafters, and welcome back to the Gifted Crafters Morning Show. Good morning out there. We've got people tuning in from all over the place. So let's say a quick hello to see who we have out there with us today. I see Barb Chumley from Central Illinois. Good morning to you. Debbie Maddox is here from Northeast Arkansas. Good morning. We've got Nancy. Good morning. Love your name. And we've got Marge Roach from Wisconsin. We've got Crafting on a Dime with Shay Shay. Good morning to you. We've got Faker McFake. Good morning to you. Awesome. Jenny Owens. Good morning to you. Deborah Vile is here with us today. Good morning. Let's see. We've got Barb Chumley from Central Illinois. Oh boy, she says it's 21 in here, with 10 inches of snow on the ground and up to 5 inches more expected today. Yikes! Oh my goodness. Well, I'm tuning in from South Florida, and so we don't get to see snow. Boo, right? Really beautiful to watch, but stay nice and toasty, will ya? Okay, we've got Lisa Lilly. Good morning from Richmond, Illinois. She's got lots of snow here, and she says it's very pretty. I'm sure it is. It must be gorgeous. That's so much. It's beautiful to watch, but you know, I'm originally from New York, and I'm done with snow. But really beautiful to watch. Awesome. Okay, Barbara Nance from Ohio. Good morning. We've got Quilting with Harriet. Good morning to you. Doris Leonard. Good morning to you. We've got Melissa Hutchkins from East Texas. Good morning. JBL's here from Alabama. We've got our friends from Canada with us this morning. Yay! Awesome. Good morning to you. We've got Cheryl from, 4 degrees in Wisconsin, 9 inches of snow. Oh boy, from the weekend. Yeah, a lot of snow going on out there. Yeah, my goodness. Boricua Sewing and Crafts, that's my sister. Good morning. She's from Virginia. We've got Georgette from Knoxville, Tennessee. Flo is with us this morning. Good morning. Yeah, it is time to get busy. Yes, definitely. All right, we've got Sassy with us this morning. Good morning. Awesome. Oh, thank you. Yeah, guys, don't forget to hit that like button. Thank you so much. We've got Lori Berry from cold, snowy, western New York. Got about a foot at my house. Oh boy, awesome. Deborah's here from Virginia. We've got Pam Branch Designs. Good morning to you. Thanks for joining. Let's see who else we've got. Let's see. Sharon Lemons is here from Texas. Awesome. We've got Teeny Tiffany. We've got oh, good morning to you. Yes. Okay. Kathy Paskey, we've got from Pennsylvania. Miss Joyce is here as well. And so many more. Guys, if I didn't get to you, sorry. We'll try to keep going as it's kind of going through the chats, kind of moving kind of quickly there. Alrighty, yes, lots of people from all over the place. I really appreciate all of your support. Thank you guys all for tuning in, and happy Monday. It is December the 1st, and you know what that means. 25 more days and we're here. Christmas is right upon us, so get those projects ready and cranking. I know you guys are all just so busy in your sewing room, so I really appreciate you spending this hour with me and, you know, just having fun on my little sewing journey here. I think it's just tons of fun, and I like to share all kinds of tips, tricks, and ideas with you guys. Now, if you are here for the first time, let us know in the chat. Type it in and let us know, or leave a comment if you're watching the replay. I really appreciate it, and I really love to kind of welcome newcomers and, you know, just have lots of fun. Okay, hello, let's see. We've got Bettina. Thank you so much for joining as well. Okay, so guys, I like to start off every one of my little episodes here in the morning with a little toast. So go ahead and grab yourself a cup of whatever it is that you have in the morning. Coffee, tea, soda, water, it doesn't matter. It's all good here. There's no judgments. Go ahead and raise those glasses nice and high because we're going to go have a nice little toast. And I'm going to wish that you guys have a beautiful day today and lots of people with snowy weather. So please stay nice and safe. Hope you stay nice and toasty and in your crafts room doing something that you truly love. Go ahead, and here's to getting all of those projects done for Christmas, right? All right, no worries. If you don't have one, I will pour you a cup. No worries. Go ahead. Let's go ahead and pour that cup. Raise those glasses nice and high. And cheers to everyone. Yes, cheers, Barbara. Cheers. Yes, everyone's got their coffee and whatever it is they're drinking. Go ahead and take a little swivel here. Okay, I have to take a few and I'm going to take one more. Awesome. Oh, that feels good in the morning, right? All right, we're ready to go. I feel energized. Do you? All right, yes, cheers, 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 everyone. Awesome. Okay, we are ready to get going. So first things first, let's go off and get our little snacks, shall we? Because some people are feeling a little hungry this morning. Maybe you had too much turkey and, you know, now you're just wanting something really good. You may have some leftovers in there. I know you do. Go ahead and grab some of those leftovers if that's your snack. We're going to head over to our little food truck. Oh, Cindy, good morning. Oh, she's tuning in from Port Richey. Family is staying with us. Awesome. That's awesome. Yay. Yeah, some people still have family with them. Some people are already traveling or maybe traveling today. And maybe you're sitting in an airport waiting for your flight. In any case, thank you for joining. And I hope you really enjoy this hour. All right, let's head on over to our food truck. Let's go get some snacks, shall we? Okay, here it is. There we are. Now, no worries. We've got everything on the food truck that you guys will want. We've got bagels. We've got muffins and brownies and all kinds of fun stuff, anything that you would want. There's no calories on this one, so you don't have to worry about, you know, you ate enough during Thanksgiving. You're not going to have to worry about what's on this food truck. And of course, since it's December, we got a little snowman. The snowman's going to come on over and, you know, remind us that, you know, Christmas is around the corner and you got to get started on those projects. So load up on those snacks and get ready to go and get yourself in your little cozy spot. And make sure that you are in a safe place to watch. Okay, guys, I have some news for you today. We've got some good news. Mr. H is back. Yes.
Hello, everyone.
He is back in our craft room today. Not sure if you guys can hear him, but yes, he is feeling better. Back in the craft room, still has a little bit of ways to go, right? Anything you want to say out there? Are you glad to be back? Anything you want to say out there?
I'm happy to be sitting here, I think.
He's happy. I don't know if they heard you. He's happy to be sitting here. He says he thinks. Okay. Well, you know, we're glad to have him back here.
Thanks to everyone who gave positive well wishes and everything. I appreciate everyone. Thank you.
Oh, yes. He says thanks for all the messages. I think you guys can hear him. Let me know if you can't hear him. I'm not sure because he's sitting over on the side here. But the mic picks up stuff, so I guess he could. Okay. Yes. They're happy to see you back. You're getting all kinds of messages. Awesome. Yes, he is back. So the chair is no longer empty. He is back where he belongs, right? Yay. Alrighty, so we're going to try to get back on track. You know, we had to change things around because he was out. You can hear him? Okay, awesome. Great. Thanks, Flo. Okay, so, you know, we had to change things around because he was out and, you know, I couldn't use my laptop because he needed the laptop to be able to do it remotely from the room. But in any event, we've kind of already scheduled this thinking that he wasn't going to be able to be here, but we can change things around. So I might do something a little bit different this week and do different things all at the same time. So I hope you guys can keep up with me. All right. Okay, and you're on your commute to work. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, Lady Blue Bear, you hopefully will stay nice and safe. And thanks for watching. Okay, so we've got our food truck. We did our toast. Let's talk about our projects and a couple other things that I need to let you guys know. So today's December 1st. So the Missouri Star Christmas box. Today's the first day that they'll be starting to unwrap the gifts. I am going to hold off and I'm not going to open anything until Saturday. Okay, so on Saturday, I will be doing a live and opening up the gifts for the Missouri Star Christmas box for the members. So if you guys want to open those with me, this is something that I've done kind of traditionally for the past couple of years. I just like to open the gifts with you guys and we kind of go through the gifts and just have a lot of fun with it. I kind of hold off for the whole week, so we have a number of them to open up. And we just have a lot of fun and talk about them and you know, kind of think about other ideas and other things that you can do with the project, with the little gift that they give you. And so sometimes, you know, they may give you something and the idea is for a certain project to be done with it, but we may come up with something totally different, right? So we just like to kind of play around with that and have some fun. And so if you're a member and you're able to join us, I think it's awesome and we'll have a great time with that. And that's going to be on Saturday. It's going to be every Saturday in the month of December until we finish up the box. Okay, now let's get to today's project, right? So today we wanted to go ahead and I thought it would be fun to do a little quilt from the Jolly Bar book. Now the Jolly Bar book is a book that you can get from the Fat Quarter shop and we are looking at volume number 5. That's the book because there's several different ones that you can get, but I picked a quilt from volume number 5. It's the Jolly Bar book. Now you asked yourself, what in the heck is a Jolly Bar book, right? Well, a Jolly Bar book is a book. It's a series of books that they have put together that is designed for you to be able to make quilts with a Jolly Bar. And this is an example of a Jolly Bar. And basically a Jolly Bar is just, think of it as a layer cake that you get, which is those 10-inch squares that you can pick up, right? And they're just kind of cut in half. And so these measure 5 by 10 inches, right? And so you're able to pick up this Jolly Bar book and a Jolly Bar and make a quilt with it, right? And so they sell Jolly Bars that you can pick up, or you can buy a layer cake and cut them yourselves, or like I'm doing, I'm just going to be using some fabric from my stash and go ahead and do the quilt with that. And I thought that would be a little bit more fun because it's something that you can kind of relate to if you don't want to purchase a Jolly Bar, or maybe you have a Jolly Bar, you know, you could do it that way, or you could just use regular fabrics. So I was going to use the Jolly Bar. However, I realized that this particular one, this one's called Jolly Bar. It's a very sweet Christmas, and it's by Bunny Hill Designs. And it's a really beautiful line here. It's got some gorgeous colors on here. But I did realize that this one came with a pattern behind it. And this is the pattern. It's called the Very Sweet Christmas Collection, and it's called Everything Nice Quilt. And it's 55.5 by 56.5 is the finished size. And it's a really cute quilt, and it goes with this Jolly Bar. So I decided, you know, I want to use this Jolly Bar to make this quilt, but I do want to make a quilt from the Jolly Bar book. So I decided for the quilt that I'm going to use for this pattern that I'm picking out from the book, I'm going to use my own stash and just kind of, you know, get it that way. So which quilts are we making from this book? I'll show you right now. It is called, and see if I can grab this here. Give me 1 second. There we go. It is called the Holly Berry Quilt. And let me bring it up really close. I think it's so, so cute. I love the little, you know, it's very simple, but it's very pretty. And I really love the edges of those little leaves, of the little berries, right? So I think it's really, really pretty, but I wanted to kind of spin it a little bit differently. So this one is Holly Berry Quilt, and you think, okay, you're going to get all kinds of Christmas fabric to do this quilt. But I thought that it would be fun to just bring out some bright colors, you know, not thinking about Christmas too much, and just bring out some bright colors and put the bright colors all together. So I put together a little palette that I'll show you in just a second from some fabrics that I picked out, and I think it'll look really cute with that. So I don't want it to be a quilt that's going to be just for Christmas, right? I wanted it to be something that you can kind of use year round. Yes, it is holly berries, but if you do different colors, it just may look a little bit different. And I wanted to give that a try. Now, this quilt measures at a finished size of 43.5 by 43.5. So it's not a tremendously huge quilt. It's a really nice size. You can have it as a little wall hanging as well. So I thought that would be a cute little project. And it seems like the steps for this particular quilt are pretty, they're pretty easy. A lot of half square triangles, a couple little techniques that we've seen in the past. So it's not extremely difficult to make. So for you beginners that are out there, you know, you're wondering, can I really make this? Yes, you can. It's not that difficult. And we're going to kind of go through it a little bit here. I'm going to show you how to make one block, and then it's pretty much just repeating the block over and over again. So you'll get lots of practice on this as well. So we'll kind of point out different techniques on here and things that you can do. We'll do a couple together. Then I want to kind of switch over, and I've got some unfinished projects that I do need to work on. If you guys recall, there were some embroidery projects that we did for Christmas. And so I've got my little design board here as well on some unfinished stuff that I have. We did finish one quilt, but I was making several for a couple of kids. So I definitely have to finish this up. I know that one was completely done and finished and bounded and quilted, and that's all done. The second one was half done, and then the third one had a couple little pieces that were done, but not too much. So I do have a couple things that I'm probably going to be embroidering. You'll be in the background, and you'll see different things going on all at the same time. So this is part of some of the embroidery here, of some of the blocks that I put together. So we've got some things on here going on. You've got the top and the bottom of a reindeer. All of these things can kind of get put together, you know, a little bird. There's going to be some sashing in between and all kinds of fun stuff. So lots and lots of things going on. Okay. Oh, Celia says all Jolly bars come with a pattern, and a Jolly bar books are collections of the patterns that are shipped for with each of the Jolly bars. Yes. And you know, it's just, I didn't think I was going to really love the pattern when I bought it. When I looked at it, I was kind of like, okay, I'll get the Jolly bar and use it for the Jolly bar book. But when I saw this pattern, it was kind of like, I kind of want to make this one. And I only got one Jolly bar, so I'm going to have to order another one. And then I'll actually use it for something else. Because first I saw that pattern and I thought, no, I'm not going to make that, but I really want the Jolly bar to use with the book. But yeah, I once I got it, then it's kind of like changed my mind, and I did want to make that one. So I didn't want to use this particular Jolly bar for it. But that's fine. I'll totally cut it out with my own fabric, and I'm sure that's going to help you guys out too, to kind of just see how I put the colors together and whatnot. So hopefully you guys can kind of follow along with this. Oh, you enjoyed making this quilt, Barbara. Awesome. Oh, Barbara, I'd love to see it. If you can put it on Facebook, we would love to see it. If you guys have done this one, you know, post it on Facebook. I'd like to see the different fabrics that you guys picked out. That would be really cool. Just to see. I'm going to show you guys the ones that I picked out last night for this particular one, and hopefully I think it will work. I just want it to kind of be bright and cheery, so we'll see how that one turns out. Okay, so I've got this here little design board. Again, it's got all the little pieces, and I'm going to continue to do some more. I've got some things all cut out, including some batting, some little pieces here and there, but I've kind of like abandoned this for a while, and I do have to get back to it, and I have to finish this up because I have not finished that project, and I need to get that one out in the mail pretty soon. So he says Jolly bars are pre-cuts that are exclusive to the Fat Quarter Shop. Yes. Named for the owners of the shop. Oh, Kevin and Kimberly Jolly. Okay, I didn't know that it was named for the owners of the shop. Okay, awesome. Okay, well, guys, the link is in my description if you're looking to purchase either a Jolly bar from the Fat Quarter Shop or for the book. You can just go ahead and click on the link and then just go shopping. You know, the Fat Quarter Shop has tons of stuff out there. That's kind of my one to go to kind of stores. I really love a lot of the things that they offer there. They've got Lori Holt stuff. They've got, you know, like they've got everything, all the pretty colors that I really love. So they're one of the shops that I really go to the most for a lot of my stuff there. So you definitely want to keep them like as your favorite. Okay, so we're going to put this over to the side here, and as well as my design board, I'm going to leave it right down here. Okay, now let's get to the fabrics, shall we? So again, the Holly Berry quilt. If you look at the picture of the quilt itself, I kind of wish it had a bigger picture, but let's look at the picture of the quilt itself. You can see that, you know, you can kind of count out. They've got about 5 different colors or 5 different fabrics that are on the quilt. So what I did was just kind of pick out 5 different colors that I think are going to work well for this quilt. So I'm kind of blocking out the cutting instructions because I don't want to, you know, take away from the book itself. If you guys want to purchase the book, obviously all the directions are going to be on the book itself. So just pardon my little paper here on the side. Okay. All right. So these are the fabrics that I put together, and I'll start with the one in the bottom here. Now, these are all fabrics that I was able to pick up before Joann's closed. So they're just, you know, I've got tons of fabric that I really want to use up because I really got some great deals on there. But this one is a, let's see, it's Keepsake Calico. It's pink, it's quilter's cotton, and it's 100% cotton, and it's a really bright pink color. So you see where my palette is starting to go here, right? So I started off with a really bright pink. I think this one would be really cute. Now, I didn't want to pick any fabrics that had too heavy of a design on here. I wanted to kind of keep them similar to just a plain color with very, very little designs on here. Just some bright colors, because I want the focus on the quilt to be on the colors, not so much the pattern on the fabrics, right? So I tried to keep them very, very light and the colors really bright. So very bright little pink. Thank you. Beautiful colors. Yeah, I think it's a really pretty pink. And then with that, I wanted to kind of complement it with a blue, and I decided to just go with this sky blue. I do have a darker blue, but I wanted to keep things kind of light. So then I just said, okay, we'll go with this blue. It's got a little bit of a design, not so much. They're kind of like a seashell-y type thing, but I wanted to create just a little bit of visual interest. So you can see where it is kind of just a little bit of a design, but a different color, right? So very bright here. Then this one is also, let's see, this is Keepsake Calico Blue, and it is 100% cotton, and these are both medium weights. So it's got a nice weight to it, which I like. Then I wanted to go ahead and go with a yellow. I thought a yellow would be really nice to bring into place. So here we've got the pink, the blue, and now the yellow. Yellow has, again, a very light little design here. Little bit of some visual interest. I just thought it would be something that would be really nice to go together. So that's my third color. Then let me just check here on the pattern real quick. So it was 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 petals for each flower, right? So you're going to have 4, but you want an extra color to be able to alternate, because you don't want every petal to look exactly the same, right? So we've got the 3 here, and my 4th color is going to be, it's got a little bit of yellow, but a little bit of orange to it. So I thought, well, this will be a nice little, it was a little too close to this, so I know I don't want to pair these two together. And I thought, well, if I do this, I thought that would look good, because we'd have the pink, a little bit of orange, a little bit of blue, a little bit of yellow. So see how this one has a little bit of a design to it as well, but you know, it's not completely just a plain fabric. It's got some visual interest to it, but it's not anything that kind of takes away from it. There's no heavy designs, like you don't see a Santa Claus on here or anything like that. There's no pictures. It's just a really nice semi-solid type of color, right? And I thought these 4 would make a pretty little holly berry petal, right? And then all of these together, I'd have to alternate it. Now, I need a little bit of green on here. And so I did put in a little bit of green, and I found different things. So I thought, you know, for my 5th color, you love the colors too, Shay Shay. Thank you. Thank you. Yay. Yeah, I think it's going to be a really nice visual contrast here, you know, when you're looking at it. Again, I want the focus to be on the colors, not on the design on the fabrics, right? So I wanted to really spark that. But then I was looking for a nice green. Now I do have 2 shades of green. I've got this really dark green that kind of like, okay, well, it's dark. It'll be a little different, and that may work. But then I also had a lighter green that I kind of liked a little better. However, I don't have much of it, so I don't think I'll be able to use this one. As I kind of lay them here, you can see, where do your eyes kind of draw itself to when you're looking at the palette itself. The way I like to kind of do is just kind of throw it on top and just see, do my eyes really focus on this green versus this green here. If you notice, when I lay down this green, your eyes kind of look at it, but it's like, I feel like my eyes kind of look at all of it together. So it's like it's a good blend all together. When I lay down the darker fabric, it kind of takes over a little bit, and my eyes kind of focus more on the green, because this is playing the dark version, right? So it's things that you can kind of do when you're not sure of your fabrics, just kind of laying them on top, seeing this is a little bit more of a pleasant, calming type of green effect. And this one is a little bit more, has a little bit more strikeness to it. And so it really stands out a little bit more. So it's kind of the effect that you want to have on your fabric. So what do you guys think? You know, when I lay it down, do you feel that? Do you see that like kind of on your eyes? Is it like a calming effect when you get the lighter green versus the darker green, where it kind of changes what you look at right away when you're just looking at it on the screen, right? I just kind of feel that that's what it does when you're doing that. And then of course I'm going to have my background fabric. Now my background fabric is just going to be a white on white. It has, again, a little bit of a design to it. I'm not sure if you guys can see the design. Let me see if I can put it a little closer on the desk cam. See, can you guys see that little, it has like these little tiny little leaves. I think you guys can see that. And I think it's really pretty. And it's perfect from far away. You can barely even see the design. You'd have to kind of be up close to see it. But I think that's going to work really nice. Yeah, Cindy, and we've got this white on white right on here. I think that's what we're going to use as our background fabric. Now, we do have to have that green because on the book itself, if you look at the quilt, I'll try to do this here again here. If you look at the quilt itself, and I'll put it on its side, but you can see right in the middle, it's got that little square. All right, so it has that little petal, not petal, it's like the little box in the middle, the little square that brings them all together. And I'd really like that to be a green. So I don't need too much of a green. So I may use one of these two. I haven't quite decided which one I want yet, but I may use this one to just be that little petal. And you really don't need a ton of fabric for that, right? For that middle piece. It's very, very little fabric. So I'm just going to kind of look at the directions, see if I have enough to be able to do that. And I think that just may work for this project. So that's pretty much the project that I'm going to be working on here. Again, we'll do one block. It's a pretty simple block that can be done, and we'll do one block, but we've got to cut up all this fabric and figure out how much we need and all of that stuff. So tons and tons of stuff to do just to get this one done. I don't think this project's going to take all that long to do. Again, the finished size is about 43, what did I say? 43.5 by 43.5. So not too big. And I think once you get one block, it's just repeating it. So it's not too complicated. Now, as I kind of go through the instructions here, let me kind of open this here. I'm looking at things like half square triangle units getting put together. I'm looking at the assembly of the holly berry unit, which is pretty much just piecing, straight piecing, putting things together. You do have to kind of line things up. The stitch and flip method that is being used in the block. So we've got the stitch and flip, and we've got the half square triangles, and then the rest is pretty much just straight stitching and then putting in the fabrics and the borders and whatnot. So not too complicated on here. Instructions are literally only a couple of pages, so it's really not too bad. And then the block for each petal will measure about 13.5 inches squared. So nice size block and a nice size quilt here. So I think, you know, not too big, not too small. It's not going to take a ton of time, and it's certainly something that you can give as a gift. So I thought this would be a really cute little block to be able to do together here. Okay, so if you are using the Jolly Bar, it makes things a little easier for you, right? Because if you've got the Jolly Bar, you can start doing some cuts, and the instructions give you the cuts. And one thing I want to point out, that some of the cuts that it's telling you, it's for each rectangle. So you'll take one of these and you'll do multiple cuts of that one jolly bar that you're going to need for this quilt. And you'll do that, and you're going to use probably about 36 or so of these to be able to make the block. But you want to also look at your block that you have here and make sure that you are doing coordinating ones, right? Picking out the ones that you want to do in this block. Just try not to do too many duplicates of the same colors. Try to really go through it, and let's just kind of flip through real quick. Just kind of go through it and pick out the different colors that you'd want on here. So in other words, don't pick a red and another red with a different design, right? Make sure they're contrasting colors as you go through here. But it's this one in particular, again, it's called A Very Sweet Christmas. It's got tons of reds, lots of pinks in here, very pretty pink colors. It just makes it really sweet, really light. And so if that's something, kind of a theme that you're looking to get, then you will definitely be able to do that. Okay, so really pretty colors. Got some very light greens, right? Some grays on here as well. Now, so you can see the designs kind of repeat themselves, but you see them on the different fabrics. This is a very pretty beige with some, you know, red and pink on here. So it's like blends the whole thing together, which is nice. And then, of course, we got the little penguins with the candy canes. Can't forget that. So those are super, super cute. All right, so that is the Jolly Bar book, and there's all kinds of different Jolly Bars that you can get, and they're really neat. I think they're a lot of fun to kind of work with because they're already half cut for you, so you don't have too much cutting. Saves yourself a little bit of cutting time if you are looking to use one of those. If not, go ahead and take out your stash, pick out your colors, and then we're just going to go ahead and do some cutting on our own and a lot of sub cutting along the way, right? Okay, so in order to get started, we've kind of picked out our palette. I may make some little decision on here on this last part, but the majority of it is picked. You've also got your borders and your binding and your background fabric. I like to kind of hold off on that one to kind of see how things are going, and then I pick those out later. So we'll see what we get for that. Thinking something that'll just blend the whole thing, maybe like a gray or something like that. But this is pretty much my color palette that I'm going to be using. And so I want to go ahead and just kind of subcut these down and then kind of just go through it. So let me just kind of pull. I guess we'll start with the pink since I've got that one on the bottom. And I'll kind of move these over to the side. And let's scoot all of this over. Okay, there we go. And we've got our background we're gonna put over to the side as well. So this is what I have from Joann's, and you know, back at that time they were getting great deals. You know, this has quite a few yards of fabric on here, so I'm really happy with that because it's something that I'll be able to use more often for another project. So I like to pin my fabrics so that they don't slide off, although some of them did on the other bolts. But go ahead and start it off. You can see here everything really nice pink and folded. And it looks like, you know, when you first bring it off the bolt, you know, you can see if you just line up your bolt onto your line on your cutting mat, I mean, you can totally see how it is not cut straight, right? But, you know, you always have to trim that off and check that off. Some people forget and they just think automatically, oh yeah, they've cut it straight. No, you really do have to check. You really have to kind of line this up on your cutting mat, just on the fold. And you can see right off the bat, see how you've only got maybe about a 1/4 inch here, and then you've got about a 1/2 inch down here you know, it's just not cut straight. So we do have to trim that off. So we'll do some trimming. Now, I have a little homemade DIY little cutting mat system here. And I've got a little board on the bottom. Not sure if you guys can see this. Let me try to pull this a little bit. Here we go. Pick this up from Home Depot. It's a nice steel little sheet that you can get. And this will help me with my magnets, right? You can pick up some magnets from anywhere. And it kind of helps me to kind of hold my ruler in place, especially when I'm doing long cuts like this. Now I've got a little bit of painter's tape on here, and I just kind of rolled that up, put that just so that my mat doesn't slide around all over the place. So just cut a couple things of some painter's tape to hold your mat into place, and then the whole thing kind of stays together. But I like to have that underneath because now I can kind of put my magnets down and it'll help to keep my ruler in place. I mentioned this before, but I know we've got some new people on here, so they may not be aware of this little hack. And I think it's just something I've been doing it for years. And I notice now they're starting to sell these mats that are magnetic and all that, but they're extremely expensive. So just so you know, you can just go to your Home Depot shop or your Lowe's or wherever your little hardware store is and just pick up a little steel sheet and slide it underneath your cutting mat. Now, I also have a piece of cardboard, just a piece of box that I put underneath just to protect my table against that steel sheet because the steel sheet is pretty sharp. So I like to keep that underneath just to protect it. And so I've got my cutting mat, the steel sheet, and the cardboard underneath. So pretty thick here. And I keep all of that together. You can also kind of tape it to the edge of your table so it doesn't move around a lot. Yeah, that hack is everything. Yes, yes, it is. It saves yourself a lot of money, right? That metal is the best idea ever. It really works if you remember to get strong magnets. Yes. Yeah. Now, these are magnets that I picked up from the Dollar Tree. Okay, they're not too strong and they work just fine. Now, is it going to have a huge hold on it? No, not these, because these are not as strong. But you can get stronger magnets like I have here that will really hold down well. Leslie says, yes, I went out and got that mat when you mentioned it the first time weekly. Yeah, it really is amazing. And you know, it's just really nice to be able to get that little extra hand. I think of it like a third hand holding the ruler down for me. And it's really nice to kind of hold that. So let me just grab my big ruler here from behind me. So pardon me as I turn around. And I'm going to grab my big ruler from my ruler drawer here. And as you can see, it's just a plain ruler from Fiskars. This one is 24 inches by 6 inches. And so all I have is these little grippy things on the bottom to help keep it from sliding. So that helps as well. But there's tons of things that you can do. You can do the little grippy things. You can get the spray to spray that down. But what I like using the magnets on the bottom is I can just kind of plop them on top of the ruler anywhere I like, and you can use as many. Let me grab some more. I've got tons of magnets, you know, that you can use, and you can just put them anywhere on here. Oh, Crafting with Shashi updated your membership. Oh, thank you so much. Awesome. You are awesome. Thank you. I really appreciate that, and I hope you guys really enjoy all the stuff that we're going to be pumping out now that Mr. H is back. Yay!
I'm back!
Yes, now that you're back, we got to put him to work, right? We've got a backlog of stuff that I've been wanting to get out, but we kept him busy.
Wait, I'm not back.
Yes, you're back. That's it. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed over the weekend. I forgot to mention during the Thanksgiving time period, we did a lot of shorts, and we put some really funny shorts out there. I hope you guys enjoyed those. You know, we just wanted to get a little giggle in your day, so they were kind of fun to make, and you know, lots of things going on there. But yeah, I did not burn that turkey, and yeah, that parade, the parade that was out there, you know, it was amazing, you
I
know.
had fun doing those.
Yeah, I think you guys really enjoyed those. We've got a lot of people that commented on that, so I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. Just our way to kind of, you know, since we didn't get to do what we really wanted to do, you know, we felt like we just had to do something. So I hope you guys enjoyed that.
A good point.
Oh, is it difficult to work magnetic hoops on the cutting mat?
It might be.
You know, I've had my magnetic hoop and I'm trying to look. I don't have it off there. I have worked with it, but it really wasn't that bad. I never take the steel sheet off. I just leave it there. And when I embroider, I put things on the table. It's not too bad. Now, these are the magnets for a magnetic hoop. And they do work, because I could use them for the ruler as well, so I keep them all together. But it wasn't too bad working with it on my table itself. You can also just put a design board on top if you wanted to, right? It's not too bad. It really all depends also on the type of magnet that you have. You know, some are going to be stronger than others. So like these Dollar Tree magnets, you can put them down, you can still move them around, you know, they hold, but it's not a real big hold. It'll just kind of mark it in place for me, just helps a little bit. Then I've got these other ones that are a little bit stronger, and so those are a little bit tougher to move, but they do hold it in place. And then you've got, these are the magnets from the hoop that you're talking about. They stay on pretty well. You still can move it around. So yeah, you could be doing some embroidery work on here. It's not too bad, and if you wanted to, you can just slide a design board on top, or maybe a rotating mat or something you can put on top and work on it. But I really didn't have too many issues working with my magnetic hoop on this. It's not that bad. So yeah, I was fine with it. I was totally fine with it. Okay, let's see here. Marita says she's happy to hear your voice, that you're back in the room. You love your regular hoops, and you know others hate theirs. Yeah, so yeah, I don't think it's going to be too much of an issue for you to work with your magnetic hoops on this. I don't think there's much of an issue at all. Okay, so how do we do this here? So let's line up. I've got my my fabric lined up on the fold on this lines right here, right? So let me see if you guys can see that. I don't think you can. So we're going to have to do this on 2 cuts. So I'll move this over so you guys can see it here. I'm lined up right on the fold. Let me move this out the way. So we've got this fold right here going against my line on my cutting board. And all I'm going to do is take my ruler, and I'm going to kind of line it up on this 9-inch line right here. And so I will line my ruler up, and notice I have my little L shape here. I want to try to leave a little bit of a lip so that I can kind of run my rotary blade against here before I actually get on the mat. Okay, some people will line this up right up against that fold line. And you can do that, but I prefer to kind of have it a little bit above it, just to give myself a little bit of wiggle room as I move my rotary blade around. And so I'm going to go ahead, line this up, make sure I am lined up both on the line here and then on the line here. And then I'm going to check the other side of my ruler, and I'm going to lift it and move it over to my 9-inch line. Now, the other thing that you can do is you want to check not just this side here, but you want to also take a look at your other side of your ruler. Why? Because your ruler can be off a little bit, and that's going to cause you to cut a little bit diagonally, which you don't want to do. Looks like that's kind of what happened on this cut here, right? Could have been at the store, could have been, you know, wherever, whoever was cutting. So I'm right here, kind of lined up on the 1/2 inch mark, And I just check to make sure I'm at the 1/2 inch mark on this side as well. Right, so I'm checking to make sure that the ruler itself is straight. I'm checking to make sure that the fold is straight on the cutting mat. And then this is what my excess that I'm going to go ahead and cut off. Now I have this a little bit towards the edge here so that you guys could see. So I'm actually going to do this in 2 cuts, but you would preferably like to do this in 1 cut. I just have to do this angle so that you guys can see it. So what would I do at this point? I'll go ahead and grab my magnets and I will place them on top of my ruler, especially on the side where it's further away from you. Now, the closer you are to your ruler, the better position you're going to be able to make that cut, right? You're going to have your rotary blade as closest to you. You're going to have the most force right here because you're closer to yourself. But as you get further away, you're not going to have as much leverage and you're going to kind of want to steer off just a little bit. That's where the magnets kind of come into play. And again, you can put as many magnets as you want to help keep it in place. You know, whatever you feel comfortable with, it kind of helps to keep that. See how this is not moving as much here? Like I can totally put tons more. And you can even use the magnets from your magnetic hoop if you want to kind of help you along with that, and just kind of put those down anywhere you want, right? But you want to try to focus on putting them where it's further away from you, because that's where the high risk is going to be of this ruler actually slipping out of place so that your cut doesn't come out as good. So you ideally want to be standing up. So I'm going to kind of get up for a little bit, and you don't want to do this sitting down if you don't have to, because it's better if you're standing up and kind of leaning over towards the ruler so you can get that better cut. Because if you're sitting down, you know, most likely it's more difficult and easier for you to kind of sway off a little bit. So then go ahead and just grab your rotary cutter, and I'm just going to stand up slightly here just to kind of put my hand position here, holding the ruler down, and then I'm going to go ahead and just make the cut, give a little bit of force, and just walk your hands through it or lift your hand up and move it to the position as close as you can. Now, before you move anything, after you've made that cut, go ahead and just slide. You can see a little bit here, didn't quite make 1 cut there. And I can just kind of move the excess, and I can see there's some cuts. So I probably need to change this blade. So since I haven't moved anything, I have the opportunity to kind of go back and do it again. And so now you can kind of lean in again and just go through the motion again. And you don't have to worry that, you know, it didn't cut the first time and now I moved the ruler and now I need to realign it. You don't have to worry about that because you haven't moved anything. You're only moving the excess. And so you have your nice clean cut here. Okay. And so I'm going to move this whole thing down. And I'll have to lift here a little bit. Slide this down. Because again, I'm doing it in 2 cuts. Ideally, you want to do this in 1 cut. And so now I'm going to slide this, and I'm going to have to realign everything again because I'm moving. So ideally, you don't want to move it. Again, I'm just doing this because of the camera. And I can see here that you see how my cut, it is, let me see if you guys can see this. Let me slide it down a little bit more. Here we go. Okay, so here's the edge here, and you can see it's pretty much cleaned up. There really isn't much to cut right here other than a couple of threads here and there. But the edge here, that selvage, is a little tiny bit in on the end, but it's on the end that I really don't care about because I'm going to be cutting that off anyway. And so now I'm able to kind of lift my ruler up, magnets and all. You can just kind of pick it up and you can see how heavy it is here, right? And you can see all of them will just kind of jump and jiggle out into place here. And now we've got a nice clean cut. So if I lined my fabric up again with my mat, I'm going to see I have a nice clean cut to start off with here. And so my edge is perfect and I can start cutting away. And so it makes things a lot easier when you have that nice clean cut and you're using your magnets to hold down these really long rulers when you're trying to make these long cuts. So making the long cuts is very different from when you're just subcutting, right? Subcutting is one thing, but when you're making those first cuts to trim these pieces off, it's really important that you take your time to line up that ruler. Use the magnets because that's going to help you the most, and take your time to walk your hand through the ruler as you're making the cut. That's going to get you the most efficient cut that you can get. And of course, you don't want to make cuts, you know, cutting off big chunks of fabric, right? When you're first trimming off, you're just cutting just that little piece just to even it all out. And then once you have it all nice and even, you can go ahead and start doing your other cutting on here. So now these are jolly bars, and jolly bars are 5 by 10 inches. So what I'm going to do now is, you know, I'm just going to go ahead and start cutting my 5 by 10 pieces. And so I'm going to just cut a 10 inch. I'm going to measure out with my other ruler. I'll just measure out 10 inches here. And then I'll go ahead and make that cut all the way down. So here's about 10 inches from here to here. I'll just cut this big chunk out. And then that's going to be my 10-inch mark. And then I'm just going to subcut them to 5 inches. And then I'll be subcutting them again to whatever the pattern calls for. So just pick the larger size of your cut, cut that down, and then do subcuts to it. That's just the easiest way, and that's how I like to do my cutting from my bolts and from all the fabrics when I'm starting off on a project. So I hope that helps you out and gives you a couple little tips on here when you're cutting out, you know, fabric from your bolt and starting off on a new project. So that's what I do and how the magnets help me out. I know when I first started, as I would cut this and cut this and cut this, and no matter what I did, it just wouldn't come out straight, and it was wonky everywhere, and it would drive me bananas. So just knowing these little tips really helped me out, and I think it's really nice now that I'm able to start off with a nice clean cut, and then I can go ahead and move forward to make all my cuts for my project. So hope you guys enjoyed those tips. Guys, we are already at the end of our hour, and gosh, it goes so fast. But thank you guys all for all your support. I hope I was able to give you a couple of tips here to help you with cutting out some fabric from your bolts and getting started on this project. All right, let's kind of move over to our inspirational quote of the day, because I want to go ahead and leave you with that. So let's move over to that. All right, so today's quote of the day is, "The joy of holiday making begins with early stitches and a warm, thoughtful thoughts." All right, so that is and so that is our tip of inspirational quote of the day, and I hope you enjoyed the tips we gave you guys today. Hope you guys have a fantastic day. Happy Monday, and I hope that you guys are able to get some time in your craft room. Thank you guys all so much for all of your support. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. I will see you here again tomorrow. Thank you again. Hope you guys all have a fantastic day, and I hope to be crafting with you soon. Bye, everyone.
So long for now, so long. Glad you stayed a while. Hope you liked my crafting style. Hope I left you with a smile. By now, keep your mind and space clutter free. Hope your day is bright as can be. So long, my friends, till we craft once again. Bye now, stay crafting. See you tomorrow. So long. laughed once again.